everyone, welcome to another thrifting haul right here on Night Owl Video. And today I've got this little stack of DVDs. I also have a stack of VHS. I couldn't hold it all in frame, so we'll get to that in a minute. If you missed it yesterday, I had a review of Stepford Wives. So you can go check that out. And this coming Friday, I have Peter Jackson's 1992 Gore Fest Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead. So check that out on Friday. But today we were talking a thrift haul. Last weekend, I went, no, I guess that's 2 weekends ago as of recording this. I went to a different town to see if I could find some cool stuff. And I did find some, it's not amazing, but like cool stuff. So we'll go over that. I got a bunch of DVDs. I've got one Blu-ray, a bunch of VHS, and I've got a couple magazines to show you, which were really cool that I found at Value Village. So let's dive right in. The first thing I got was Hell Ride. This is directed by Larry Bishop and presented by Quentin Tarantino, which is mostly why I bought it. The disc itself isn't in great condition. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's, hey, look at that. Whoa, whoa. The disc is a little scratched up, but it was only $2, so I figured I'll give it a shot. So yeah, this is one of those Dimension Extreme DVDs. I think, Dennis Hopper is in this. David Carradine, Vinnie Jones, Michael Madsen. It's an all-star cast. It's rated 18 in Canada, so I actually thought this was like an old movie that was being presented by Quentin Tarantino. I didn't realize it was like a newer movie, but I'm going to check that one out. The next one up, you'll probably maybe be surprised, is a movie I've never actually seen, and I know it's just recently gotten like a really nice Blu-ray or 4K treatment, but this is from the Universal Studios selection, and this is the film Cloak and Dagger with Dabney Coleman. I want to say Cloak and Dabney. This also stars Henry Thomas, who was in remember him as the little kid in E.T. This is an old Blockbuster rental, which I found at Value Village. This has a runtime of 1 hour 42 minutes. Is from Universal. The film itself is from 1984. Never seen this movie. I know, it's just one of those, it's a blind spot for me. Don't you hate these things? Am I the only one in the world that hates those dumb tabs? I think I've complained about that before. There's the disc art, nothing to write home about. But yeah, I think this just got like a 4K from some boutique label last year. Everybody was losing their minds over it. I didn't see this movie when I was a kid, so I don't have any special sentimentality for it, but I'm going to check it out. The next one up I got was actually pretty cool. I got this at a sort of a comic book movie D&D kind of store. This was in really nice condition. I think I paid $7 for this, which is a bit more than I like to spend, but I couldn't resist. I think I got this about a week and a half ago. From the Universal Classic Monsters Legacy collection, I got Creature from the Black Lagoon 3-film collection. I don't know if I can get rid of that glare for you. So this has the original Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is one of my all-time favorite monster movies. This is all 3 films from the original Legacy from 1954 to 1956. It also features Revenge of the Creature and The Creature Walks Among Us. So yeah, so this is kind of a cool little set from Universal. There's the inside, pretty bare bones. I do believe there's a documentary called Back to the Black Lagoon. There's 3 feature commentaries, which I assume 1 commentary for each movie, and production photographs and theatrical trailers. So Creature from the Black Lagoon. I love Creature from the Black Lagoon, but I've not seen any of the sequels. So this was a little postcard or piece of paper that came inside. So there's all of the Universal Legacy Collection DVDs. So yeah, cool. I think I only have, I meant to look that up before I started this video. I definitely have one of them. It's either Frankenstein or Mummy that I have in that from that series. And then on the back is the Alfred Hitchcock mega set there, which looks pretty cool. So really happy to add this to my collection because, like I said, I had not seen any of the sequels. I do believe there's a few other sequels after this kind of like original legacy trilogy. Then up next, nothing too exciting, but I got the film Juno. I did love this movie. I still love this movie, but when this came out and I was just getting separated from my partner, I was living on my own, and this movie plus the movie soundtrack was basically my life for like a year. I loved this movie. I thought it was so sweet and just comforting in kind of a dark time for me. The soundtrack was also really good. It was a lot of twee pop, and the Kinks were on there. Lots of kind of cool 60s and stuff like that. I'm actually on the hunt for the soundtrack. So, but yeah, this was Elliot Page, Michael Cera, Jennifer Garner, Jason Bateman, J.K. Simmons. I don't know who Allison Janney is, but Roger Ebert said this was the best picture of the year. This was directed by Jason Reitman. If you've never seen Juno, I put it in that kind of category of like Little Miss Sunshine. Those kind of like indie. They're like, it's like the movie version of indie pop or something. Just really sweet little stories. And Juno, I haven't seen that in probably close to 15 years, so I am looking forward to rewatching that. The next one up I got was the remake of Death Wish, starring Bruce Willis and directed by Eli Roth from 2018. I watched this puppy the other night, and this was a good movie. Bruce Willis was badass in this movie. I'd never seen this before, but I heard great things about it. I'm not usually a big fan of remakes, and Charles Bronson's Death Wish is, like, to me, such a classic, like, vigilante revenge flick. And I was not sure how I was going to take to this, but this was so good. This was so good. And his family in the movie, which was Elizabeth Shue and Kimberly Elise, I think her name is. They were such a sweet family. Like, I think the main difference between this and the original Death Wish is, like, I actually, like, almost sort of loved him and his family. They were so sweet, and I love Elizabeth Shue anyway. I grew up watching her in the movies, and I just thought this, like, I really was invested in that family. I was like, she's going to go to college. Everything's going to be great. And then things don't go so good. So this also stars Vincent D'Onofrio. Can someone give that man does he have a star on the Walk of Fame? That guy is such a good actor. I love Vincent D'Onofrio. What a cast in this flick. And yeah, like the action in this. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Up next, this is actually an upgrade for me from VHS to DVD. 1 Million Years BC, starring Raquel Welch and John Richardson. Yeah, I have this on VHS, but I was really happy to upgrade to DVD. This has some special effects by Ray Harryhausen. It's from Seven Arts Hammer, directed by Don Chaffee. What else can I tell you about it? 91 minutes. If you like people fighting off giant crabs and dinosaurs and lizards, like it, this is your jam. This is from 1966 Hammer film production. That was when Hammer started to move away from the or I guess not move away from horror movies, but they started to kind of diversify and do some of these dinosaur Lost World pictures. And this one's great. This is a classic to me. Raquel Welch is super cool. This is just a great little film. If you're looking for like 60s, Ray Harryhausen, dinosaurs, this is your jam. This is probably one of the best known at that lot. Up next, a movie I've only seen once on streaming, but I thought was really good, from the creators of You're Next, another great film, which I actually just rewatched recently. This is the movie The Guest. If you've never seen this, it doesn't look all that exciting from the cover and the name of the movie, but this is a badass movie as well. This was directed by Adam Wingard. Yeah, this is like a guy who claims to be a friend of the son who was killed in in the services. And so he goes to their family and he's like, "Oh, I knew your son, and he told me to tell you that he loves you and all this stuff." But there's the guest is, he's got some secrets, and if you watch this film, you will discover those. But yeah, this is kind of a sick movie. I really like this one. Nothing exciting about the inside. Highly recommend this if you like. I don't know, just like a good thriller. This guy is so handsome and so like unassuming, and then, whew, look out. Here's a weird one. I don't normally buy new DVDs or Blu-rays, as you know. I really try to hold off until I can find them used, but this one was marked down. It was like $30 at Walmart. It was marked down to 20. And I've been wanting to rewatch it. It's been almost a year since I saw it in the theater. And I know you guys are probably going to be rolling your eyes, but I picked up Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny on Blu-ray. I'm not going to lie. I actually really like this movie. I thought it was really fun. I saw this in the theater with my son, and he can attest. I was literally hanging off the edge of my seat. Like this, to me, I think this was made for people my age and up. This is your old school, like kind of, I don't want to say swashbuckler, but like, adventure guy movie. This, if you like the original quadrilogy, I guess, if you will, the original 4 films, you'll probably like this. If you didn't like Crystal Skull, you probably won't like this. This got a lot of negative press and stuff, which was just a bunch of horse shit. This was a fun movie to me. I don't get why people, yeah, the CGI was, the de-aging was a little cornball, but, and, it has some science fiction elements to it. Maybe people had a hard time grappling with that because the other ones are, with the original trilogy were more based on like, like religious stuff and things like that. But I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I highly recommend this movie. If you just like the character Indiana Jones and you want a good just thrill ride, this is your jam right here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to apologize. I really like this movie. There's the digital code if somebody wants to snag it. I don't do digital codes, but if you want to grab it, it's all yours, buddy. Yeah, like I said, this movie got a lot of crap when it came out, but I think going to see it in the theater was really the ultimate experience. This is your old school, like Saturday afternoon matinee serial adventure guy, and hey, Harrison Ford is in his 80s now. I mean, that dude's still going. Hats off to him. Good one. Anyway, I'm going to show you the VHS tapes that I got next. I'm just going to go over here for a sec. I went to this really cool store. I went to a small town called Windsor, which is just up the road from me. And there was this old, it's a store. It says it's a like a pawn shop kind of thing. But I'm thinking it used to be a corner store and / video rental store. And I went in and there was just like a wall of VHS tapes and I was losing my marbles. This was a really cool little spot. I don't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but I actually found it by accident. I was trying to get to a different store and I lost my way. And I found this store. The guy who runs it, this little old fella, super, super nice guy, loves talking about movies and the old days of VHS and that and rentals. And it was really just a cool experience. So I didn't get his name either, but shout out to that store in Windsor because I found a couple cool things, nothing like mind-blowing, but a few things I was looking for and just a few kind of like nostalgic things. So the first one up I got is Christopher Walken in Abel Ferrara's King of New York. So yeah, actually the name might be I thought it might have the name of the store on it, but I've actually never seen this movie, but I do love Abel Ferrara movies, and I've heard great things about this, and I love Christopher Walken as well, so I'm going to check this out. I would like to find this on DVD or Blu-ray, but for now, I'm happy to find it. These tapes were $2 each. The next one up I got was kind of weird. Or not weird, but unexpected. This was This is probably a re-release, I'm thinking, in the 90s. But this is Catherine Deneuve and Louis Buñuel's erotic masterpiece, Belle de Jour. I only have this movie recorded off the TV from back in the 90s, but I love this movie. I thought it was really, really good. Somebody's name is on the back, I guess. I don't know. Somebody's name and the date is on the back for some reason, but I just couldn't believe that this was in a ex-rental store. It just seems like such a weird thing, but I could tell the guy that runs the store has some great taste in movies, and I was happy to pick this up for now. Much like all the other tapes, I'll probably wait until I find it on DVD or Blu-ray, but this will be like a placeholder until those days. A lot of these tapes are still shrink wrapped, as you can see, because they were ex-rental tapes, but that was kind of cool. This next one I've never seen, and I'm sure it's not that great, but it's got Wes Craven's name on it, so I thought I'd check it out at least once. It's a movie called They. Like I said, I've never seen this. I don't know. Directed by Robert Harmon. Starring Laura Reagan, Mark Blucas, Ethan Embry. I don't know anything about this movie, if it's good or bad. I think this was like 90s later, or maybe early 2000s Wes Craven, so I don't know. I'll throw it on for a larf, but you can leave in the comments below. Maybe I'm going to guess it's probably a terrible one because I've never heard anybody reference it. The next one up I got, actually, I've had this tape before and I got rid of it and I kind of regretted it. I don't see this on DVD. I don't know if it got released to DVD or Blu-ray, but it's Sheryl Lee and Stephen Dorff in Backbeat, the movie about the early days of the Beatles. This was directed by Ian Softley from 1993-94. I used to have this soundtrack on cassette and I loved it. The music on the soundtrack was done by like Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth and Dave Pirner from Soul Asylum. Trying to remember who else is on that. Doesn't say on the back, I guess, but a bunch of kind of like 90s alternative rock people did the music for the soundtrack to this, and it's really good. It's like real raw, like early Beatles. Here's the name of the place. Camille's Market in Windsor, Nova Scotia. So there you go. So shout out to Camille for supplying me with these cool tapes. Yeah, I remember seeing this movie in the theater or on video, I can't remember, and liking it quite a bit, but the soundtrack for me is what really gets me going. So in this story, he had like a wall of VHS, and then on another wall he had tapes and it said not for sale, and there was like all this like cool 80s horror, like a beautiful copy of the Anchor Bay Day of the Dead VHS with the face on the cover. They're like some really nice tapes, but they weren't for sale. Apparently Camille's kids want those tapes, but as I just said, like, just so you know, for somebody like me, that's kind of torturous because I would probably pick those up. But the next one up I got is one I have on DVD, and I don't know. I might try to resell this or just pass it on to somebody else. But every time I see this tape, I feel like I want to buy it. I think it has some weird nostalgia for me. It's Kevin Smith's Mallrats with Jason Lee and Shannon Doherty. This is probably my favorite Kevin Smith movie, but there's something about the artwork on this. It's like super 90s looking. I remember renting this in 95, 96, and I just instantly fell in love with this movie. I like movies that take place in shopping malls, and I just love this movie. So I do have it on DVD, but it's like that 15th anniversary or whatever, the extended cut. And I don't know if you can watch the original version on that DVD, but I grabbed this just because nostalgia. And then the other one, I've always avoided this movie because I thought it would just be real bad. But I've heard some people really put this one over. This is The Rage, Carrie 2. I don't know. Am I crazy or am I watching the wrong people on YouTube? I don't know. I mean, to me, Carrie, the original Carrie with Sissy Spacek and George Volta is, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I always avoided this one because I thought, oh, this is just going to be like schlock 90s. But I've heard some people say it was really good, so I'm going to check it out. It also comes on this red VHS tape, which is kind of cool. You don't see a lot of those around, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to check it out. I'm open-minded about, I'll check things out. And then the last couple things I got were actually magazines, which might seem like a strange thing to showcase on a movie channel, but they're actually like movie TV related. The first magazine I got is called Enterprise Incidents, SF Movie Land, which I've never heard of this magazine in my life. I found these at Value Village for $1.49. This features, this is from January of 1985. January 1985. It costs $3.50 in Canada. This has Gremlins, Return of the Jedi, 2010, Star Trek, Dune, V, Starman, all these crazy, crazy cool movies. So I decided to grab this, and I'll tell you why, because normally I'd probably just pass on something like this. It's just, I don't know, it's cool, but what am I going to do with it? But in the back, I thought this was so cool. Maybe you horror nerds out there will like this too, but look at this back page. It's an American Werewolf in London masks that you can order. And Last Starfighter masks, not as impressive because they're just drawings, but look at these masks. Have you ever seen anything so cool? I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool magazine. I like 80s sci-fi, but when I saw those masks, I just had to get this. It was too cool. There's Rest in Peace, Leonard Nimoy. So yeah, I grabbed that. Kind of cool. It does have some other things in it from, there's, what's his face? Jeff Bridges as Starman. I don't know if you can see that. There's a spread on Dune, and I think there's actually an interview with David Lynch in there, so or thoughts from him anyway. So yeah, grab that. And then the last thing I got, another magazine, and this was what actually caught my eye. And that magazine I just showed you was behind this one, but this was front and center on the magazine rack, and I almost died on the spot. Look at this. Look at this. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger in Conan the Destroyer. This is Starlog number 85 from, I believe this is also from 1985. Let's see if I can find a date in this somewhere. Oh, sorry, this is from 1984, allegedly, from August of 84. Conan the Destroyer. Did I say Barbarian earlier? I meant Destroyer. I saw Conan the Destroyer in the movie theater after seeing Conan the Barbarian on VHS, and I loved the Conan movies. This also has Ghostbusters 2010, Star Trek 3, Muppets Take Manhattan, Last Starfighter, Joe Dante on Gremlins, and of course Ernie on the cover. This thing's in really beautiful condition. Like, somebody loved this magazine. It also has this really cool thing. I don't remember this from when I was a kid, but on the inside it has a Blade Runner poster. Check that out. I'm obviously not going to rip it out and put it on my wall, but kind of cool. There's some more masks in the front, this time Gremlins, if you want to dress up and scare your friends. But yeah, I love old Starlog science fiction. Just great. I love looking at the advertisements. Oftentimes they'll talk about up-and-coming movies and things like that. So yeah, I love it. This also has some really nice publicity stills of Conan the Destroyer. I know not everybody's favorite movie, but I love that movie. I just love it. Look at that. Look at this picture. That is a publicity still for Conan the Destroyer. That's with Akiro, played by Mako, and Malik, played by Tracy Walter. Yeah, so publicity stills from Conan. There's a whole article on Jim Henson. I also love Jim Henson, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out. See what else is in here. But yeah, I love these magazines, looking at the old advertisements, the pictures from the movies. Here's Soundtrack Spectacular. Check this out. All the cool soundtracks that you can buy on vinyl back then. I guess CDs were just in their infancy then, but you can get the Mutant soundtrack. You can get Brainstorm. All this cool stuff. So yeah, I'm a mark for this kind of stuff. I just love this stuff. And I don't usually find these out and about when I'm thrifting, so it's really cool to find them, especially when they're in really nice condition like this one. There's some, I don't know what's going on there, some more Dungeons and Dragons looking stuff. Yeah. Next month they're talking about Buckaroo Banzai, The Last Starfighter, Doctor Who. So yeah, love this. But that cover is just, I don't know, so cool. And like I said, in beautiful condition. They're only $1.49 a piece. So, you know, that's my thrifting haul this time around. Hope you saw some cool stuff, or maybe some of those movies are your favorites. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm trying this new standing up thing while I review. I don't know if it's working, but suffice to say, when I used to record my videos before, it took a lot of rearranging furniture and everything. So trying this on the fly, see how it goes. But yeah, let me know if any of those movies are your favorites, if you like them. Thoughts, feelings, anecdotes, theories, quotes, salutations, whatever. Go ahead. Have at it. Thank you to everybody who subscribed recently. I'm now well on my way to, I think I'm at 415 now, which is incredible just in the 2 years that I've existed. I am coming up on my second year anniversary, so maybe I'll do something special for that. Yeah, if you want any like different kind of content, let me know in the comments below. If you have a movie you want me to review, or if you want me to talk about some physical media or stuff. I did say I probably would do something for my 400 subscriber count. So if you have suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments. But in the meantime, thank you to everybody who has decided to support me. I really appreciate your support. Hope you enjoy these videos as much as I do making them. And until next time, I will see you at the video store, or at the thrift store, or just out and about somewhere. But until next time, take good care of yourselves and your family, and I'll see you in the next video.